Preparing Our Hearts Before We Prepare Our Holidays by Lori Altebaumer. But one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen that good part, which will not be taken away from her. Luke chapter 10, verse 42. While Christmas is the celebration of Christ's birth, the 4 weeks leading up to it are set apart as a time of preparation, known as Advent. But in our overly busy, commercialized world, we often lose sight of what, or who, it is we're preparing for. The initial joy often gives way to stress and exhaustion. We become a Martha in our frenetic holiday planning, forgetting to make time to be a Mary, sitting at the feet of Jesus as well. See Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. When the big day finally arrives, it breezes by like an Arctic blast, leaving us numb and wondering where the days went. The excitement that filled our days and the anticipation that filled our hearts seems to vanish as soon as we flip the calendar page. If you recognize this pattern, then perhaps a change of perspective is the gift you need to give yourself. Advent is the season of preparation, celebrated by many churches and denominations. But the choice to observe it is a matter of each believer's personal conviction. See Romans chapter 14, verses 5 to 6. And while some churches have a set liturgy for Advent, the important thing is that we each observe in a way that is meaningful to us. The season of Advent can be a time of preparing our hearts to worship Christ throughout the year. The lighting of the candles, hanging of the greens, Advent calendars, and readings or devotions are all good ways to remind ourselves of the reason for the hope we have. Christ has come, and he's coming back. See John chapter 14, verse 3. Advent ends on Christmas Eve, the celebrated moment of Christ's entry into our human existence as a newborn baby. The time of preparation has passed. The time for rejoicing begins. Christmas Day isn't the end. It's the beginning of a year-long celebration. But life in this broken world happens. There are bills to pay, illnesses to treat, jobs to work. Our calendars fill with Little League games, dance recitals, doctor appointments, committee meetings. The list goes on, and the rejoicing stops. Perhaps not in an abrupt halt, but a slow fade as we forget to remember. Participating in Advent reminds us. It draws our weary hearts away from the world and back into the peace and hope found only in the presence of Christ. If we concern ourselves more with preparing our hearts than preparing our homes, we will have the greatest gift of all. We will have Christ. Do you tend to use more of a Martha or Mary approach to Christmas? Does this bring you joy, or would you benefit from changing your approach? How might you use the time of Advent to prepare your heart for the celebration of Christ's birth? What are some specific actions you can take this year?